When in Vendée, we Moules Marinière. We're in France in one of the famous places for shellfish, and we got this tiny, beautiful moule to do French style. It's a little change from the usual Italian way. In Italy, of course, we would have done it as an impeppato di cozze, but we're going to be adapting the French way. And here, the French ingredients. French butter, le beurre, fantastic. And then the aromatics, we got parsley, thyme, rosemary, what is this again? Bay leaves. These are all from the garden, so fantastic. An onion, some shallots, and this gigantic thing is, of course, celery. And of course, we're going to be using some Italianness, so the wine is Frutto de Palo. With mussels, they obviously need to be fresh. Usually, you can ask the fishmonger to clean it, which is what we did here, so there are no barnacles on the outside. And beards. Thank you, Carla. Of course, if they sell it to you with it, then you take a knife and you scrape everything out. And if there is the little beard, like here, this is very clean, but you take it and you just pull it out and you get it cleaned up. The other thing which is very important is that these need to be alive when you cook them, otherwise they're not good. So when they're open, for instance, look at this one. This one is open, so you need to check whether it's alive before eating it. The best way of doing it is that you give it a squish, and look. You see it's closing, that means it's alive, and you're disturbing her, and she's closing up. So this is perfectly fine to eat. If you have some which don't close, that means they're dead, so you need to take them out. But we are in a place where everything is incredibly fresh. So look at this one. We pinch it down. And it's closing. And if you hear a little baby crying, that's my little nephew. And so, mwah, lots of kisses. We're sleep training him and we're failing. Anyway, time to get back to cooking. Step number one is that we need to make the bouquet of aromatics. So we start with the parsley and we take the stems. These, of course, have all been washed. We got our thyme, we got the rosemary, and we got the bay leaves. And we make it into a little knot. Butcher's twine is the best. We don't have it here, so we're going to be using a sewing kit. That'll be fine. Now the bay leaves in the middle. Cameraman, can I borrow a finger, please? Perfect. To this, then, we're going to add a little bit of celery. First off, a little bit of butter. And as the butter begins to melt, this we're going to be using them to give further flavors to the moule. Just chop them in this. And we add them to our little nest. A couple of cloves of garlic. We just give it a squash, peel it out. This one, of course, we're not going to be eating it, but we're going to be using to infuse. And then one of my favorite things is the shallot. I think shallot is fantastic with this recipe. Nothing fancy for the cleaning. We're just going to slice it relatively thin, but without overthinking it. And in terms of quantity, when it comes to the moule, kind of depends how much you want to eat them, but usually it's 1 kilo for 2 people. The butter, the aromatics, and our garlic. And at this point, the temperature should be nice and slow because you want the butter to take all these amazing flavors without burning. And the shallots. And like that. This will slowly soften up, releasing so much flavor. I'm feeling so French right now. Pulls well. And when you have fats, you need to break them down with acid. Before we're breaking it down with some wine from Italy. We're going to let all the alcohol evaporate. And in order to understand whether the alcohol has evaporated or not, it's a pretty simple test. You stick your face to it. You feel like really pungent in your nose, that means the alcohol is still there. So give it a couple of minutes, well, probably less, give it a minute more. And then we're going to throw in the moule. And in the meantime, we take the leaves of our celery, the leaves of our parsley, and we do a pretty coarse chop. That's it. And this go in. Cool. See, this is what I meant. If if you can find something like this, just pull them out. I give this a mix. Increase the heat a little bit and put a lid on. Throughout the cook, every so often we're going to take it and we're going to shake them. When they're all open, then they're ready to be eaten. Check this out. And as most of them are open, now we make a little switch. We take away our little aromatic pouch and we put in the herbs. This is going to give so much freshness. Oh, one lost his house, so that's for me. Oh, okay. And we're ready. Off from the heat. We're gonna put the lid in for 1 minute. Just let everything rest up. Give it a shake. And chef privilege is to try it before serving it. So we get to try it. Check this out. Look at that. I think I'm gonna grab this chubby one here. Oh, they're super juicy. These I think are some of the best moules I've ever eaten. These are absolutely fantastic. They're smaller than what we get in Italy and actually smaller than what I used to get in London. These are small, packed with so much flavor. And one of the best things about this dish is that you get yourself a fresh baguette, and at the bottom, let me see if I can scoop it up. At the bottom, if we can find it, is see here. You see it? This is amazing. You dip your bread at the end once you finish eating all of them. And this is the French way of scarpetta, and I'm telling you, it really works. Buon appetit.